Just like having the right information is necessary to make solid hiring and lending decisions, being engaged in our community is important. DataFax is proud to support the positives and be a presenting sponsor of the Spark.
State Systems is focused on protecting life and property. As a local, privately owned company, our foundation was built on providing all businesses with complete fire and security protection and infrastructure cabling. State Systems is proud to be a part of the Mid-South community and a presenting sponsor of the Spark.
Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance has been serving the Mid-South since 1954. We've always focused on supporting our community and believed in promoting the positives, encouraging engagement, and leading by example. Lipscomb & Pitts is proud to be a presenting sponsor of the Spark.
Additional funding provided by Christian Brothers University and Baptist Memorial Healthcare. Get better with Baptist.
This month on The Spark, our theme revolves around the comfort and peace of mind of home. We'll learn more about an organization providing a home away from home for families who are in Memphis while their child is receiving treatment at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, a residential community providing a home and purpose for adults with mild to moderate intellectual disabilities, and a locally owned, full-service financial services provider that has a national reach and is known to do well in our community. Have you ever been excited by a new idea, inspired by watching someone lead by example? When we talk about creating change, we start by sharing the stories of everyday heroes who are making a difference in their own way, so we can learn and do the same. This truth is the power behind this show, which is focused on business and community leaders that are leading by example to give back, fuel change, and create new opportunities for the Mid-South. I'm Jeremy Park, and this is The Spark. They're known as a home away from home for families who are in Memphis while their child receives treatment for cancer or another catastrophic illness at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. I'm here with the Executive Director of Ronald McDonald House of Memphis, Carone Bird, and you have a very unique history in terms of forming the Ronald McDonald House. So share with us a little about the history of forming Ronald McDonald House of Memphis.
Sure. The house opened in 1991, and the house really started because there were a couple families, one of whom had lost a child to cancer. The other family had a child currently undergoing treatment at St. Jude, and both families knew the importance of families having a place to stay. You know, every family that comes to our Ronald McDonald House has come from miles away because their child's being treated at St. Jude, and they all need a home to stay in. So with the help from other, wonderful community citizens, they rallied together, they raised the funds, and in 1991, Ronald McDonald House of Memphis opened as the first patient housing facility for St. Jude families. And
it's a house, so you have kitchen, you have bedrooms, you have rec room, you have a playground outside. Talk about just the amenities of it being a house.
We're a home away from home. So everything that a family would need and would want to have in their own home, we offer them at Ronald McDonald House of Memphis. We have kitchens that they can prepare meals in. We have large living areas. They can gather together, meet other families. The kids get to know other kids. We have playgrounds that the children can play on. They get to really maintain that sense of normalcy that they would have if they were still at home. And that's so important because, the parents are in a state of anxiety. They get the news 24 to 48 hours. They arrive in Memphis after learning that their child's been diagnosed with cancer. What we want to do is just kind of take that worry of how will I pay for this away from them. All of our services are provided at absolutely no cost to them. We want to take that worry away from them of how am I going to get back to the hospital. They have transportation and a shuttle that takes them there. We want to take away the worry and concern of how will we eat tonight. Well, we have wonderful volunteers that come in and cook meals for the families.
And I think that's the neat thing is, if you can imagine as a parent, it's a very scary feeling where all of a sudden, next thing you know, as you alluded to, 24, 48 hours, next thing you know, you're coming to Memphis for treatment with your child. And many times you don't have a chance to really pack, to work out the logistics with your work, and you don't have that support network, but you come to Memphis, you come to Ronald McDonald House, and next thing you know, you have the amenities, you have the home-like setting, you also have a support network, but most importantly, you can focus in on the health and the wellness and the recovery of your child.
Absolutely. Well, that support network is so important. And really the families tell us that what they find when they get here in Memphis is that because they're around other parents and other children who are going through the same experiences, they form those bonds. And so they form these mutual support systems with one another. Sometimes there's a family here that maybe they've been coming for years. And then there's this family that's a newcomer. And so they they gather together, they can share experiences. As much as we do to provide support for them, and we absolutely rally around them, there's no one quite like another family who's going through that same experience that can help them understand, you know, why my child's reacting to the medicine this way, or, you know, why my child's feeling fatigued, and even give the parents some help and some skills on how to cope with what they're going through.
Well, let's take that as a great opportunity to take a look at a day in the life of the Ronald McDonald House in Memphis, and also, too, the impact that it has on families.
Ronald McDonald House of Memphis was built in 1991, and we originally were the only housing facility that served children at St. Jude. We went through a pretty extensive renovation, did a lot of remodeling, and the very first thing we did was add color. In the common areas, you'll see artwork that was done by the kids, and you'll see the handprints everywhere. And the handprints were all created by the patients. They come back, and one of the first things they want to see is their hand. Essentially 4 to 5 families share each kitchen area. And really the kitchens are the first meeting place for the families. It's nothing to go down during an afternoon or an evening and see 5 or 6 families cooking together. Getting the support and not being isolated in their journey means everything to them. While we can't cure cancer, we help the whole family by having them all here together and by giving that community, and they get that support from the other families.
So that gives us some perspective on the impact that it has for families. How many families roughly do you serve in a typical year?
We'll serve around 800 families each year. Wow. They'll stay for an average of about 16 days or so, but they can stay anywhere from 7 to 90 days.
And what's the typical cost for a family to come in? When you talk about underwriting that for free for them, what's that cost overall?
It's $2,500 per family.
And so when you look at it, one of the neat things that makes you unique is that you are independent. So you've got the Ronald McDonald name, and you're also tied obviously to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. But for your purposes, in terms of underwriting that cost, and then also to serving those 800 families, you're an independent. You're an independent nonprofit tasked with obviously pulling your own volunteers, pulling your own resources all together to give back.
Absolutely. We are so blessed to have support from McDonald's and wonderful support and be a partner with St. Jude. But we are completely independent of the two organizations. We're our own 501c3 nonprofit. We're responsible for raising our own budget. Our partnership with McDonald's is about 8% of our annual budget, which is fantastic, but obviously that leaves quite a bit to make up, and so we rely on support from the community. We have a robust, fundraising effort that goes on annually, and the Memphis and Mid-South community are absolutely wonderful and very supportive of what we do. Wonderful volunteers as well, and a lot of great companies that provide us with in-kind support to help us keep our expenses low.
And you have a number of easy ways. So the Pop Tabs, you have Radiothon. Talk about just some of the big events and things that you do. Hollywood for the House.
Right. Well, Radiothon is probably our single largest event. It's going into its 23rd year, I think, and it is absolutely wonderful way for us to get the mission out, to build community support and get the community engaged. It really, there's something for everyone with Radiothon. But there's some easy things that people can do. Collect Pop Tabs. You mentioned that. Those are the tabs on your aluminum cans. People collect those. They bring them to Ronald McDonald House, and then we'll take them, recycle them. We'll generate about $30,000 a year just from pull tabs.
That's so impressive. I mean, that's an easy way for you to work with your children. And we have it at ours. We have a little coffee thing where we dump them in, and it's amazing how fast they add up. But it's a great learning lesson, not only for recycling, but also, too, for them to learn more about Ronald McDonald House and how you're helping these children and families.
Well, there's a way for everyone to get involved, and we say the pull tabs are great for school kids, churches. I mean, it's a project they can take on their own and run with it. We also get great support from the community for pantry items. The families come to us and they have a suitcase and they're packed, and that's about it. They don't bring a lot of extras with them, and so we provide free food at Ronald McDonald House. There's a pantry they can walk into and grab some soup off the shelves, or Pop-Tart, or make some oatmeal or cereal in the morning, and the community organizations donate those items to us.
Well, you alluded to earlier on the fact that volunteers come in and they serve dinners and meals, and I just encourage all of you to get involved, and that's a great opportunity to do team building experience, to bring your family, to bring your coworkers out and serve a meal. But I absolutely love what you're doing here in the community, and I appreciate you coming on the show, Karan.
Thank you so much.
Established in 1978, they're a model residential community. I'm here with Park Pepper. He's the executive director of the Bedour Center, and you work with mild to moderate adults with intellectual disabilities, and you provide them an absolutely amazing, beautiful campus. I mean, bright green grass, you've got the lake, you have a chapel. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. And so from your end, how do you describe the Bedour Center?
It is home away from home for the residents that we serve. Parents decide whether or not they want to select a place like Bedour that can provide a meaningful life for their child, a well-rounded life, a life that helps them reach their God-given potential.
And that's the neat thing is you're providing them a number of opportunities, and obviously you have different departments, but it's everything from exercise, it's the spirituality, it's also to vocational growth, it's independence with the living. Talk about the dynamics of really that holistic approach to providing them opportunities to thrive.
We're blessed with many resources there, Jeremy. We actually have multiple opportunities for learning and advancement, if you will, within a residential setting. Residents can live in a supervised setting. They can live in an entirely independent setting based on their skills and how they progress in learning those skills. We provide work opportunities where residents can earn a paycheck performing meaningful work. They build esteem, they build skills, and it's a very exciting and fun opportunity for residents to grow socially as well as to explore interest and so forth.
Because you also have the Miracles, right? The performing
Miracles
group that goes out.
Yes,
They're the champions of the Bedour Center everywhere you go, all across the nation.
Our calling card.
That's right. Hey, you have to have one. So the neat thing is that when you look at it, especially let's take the vocational side. For them, they're learning marketable skills. They're also earning a paycheck, which obviously provides confidence. And you have 2 facilities on campus where they're doing everything from packaging to logistics and all sorts of intricacies. Describe the vocational side of the Bedour Center.
The vocational side of Bedour Center actually serves a number of companies. We serve people, our probably largest customer is FedEx right here in Memphis. We also serve companies from New Jersey to Washington State. We do a number of manufacturing fulfillment jobs. We are very good at finding individuals to match jobs. We match strengths. We look for abilities, not disabilities. We take individuals and for example, someone with autism and find what their strengths are, and we put them in jobs that are best suited for them. Something that I might have a difficult with that needs regimen and fine attention to detail, and yet they really excel in something like that.
Nice. Well, that's a perfect opportunity. Let's go ahead and show viewers a little bit of the day in the life at the Bedour Center.
The Bedour Center's horticulture program allows the center to stay true to its mission of assisting residents in reaching their maximum potential vocationally. They have a unique opportunity of watching that product grow from the beginning to the end, as well as learning both the wholesale and retail side of the greenhouse business. The newly renovated and relocated garden center has enhanced resident productivity, as well as given them an opportunity to experience the public and interact and serve our community. You can sell a beautiful plant, but it's the residents who work in the greenhouse that keep those loyal and strong customers coming back on a regular basis. We have a very strong customer base. And we learned from talking to the customers that it's the residents, the reason that they come. They want to see what they grow.
So that gives us a little more perspective on the Bedour Center. We were just talking about vocational services, and you were recently awarded with the Bravo Zulu Award, and that's a very prestigious honor. Talk about what that honor means to the Bedour Center.
It's important to Bedour Center. We won this award approximately a year ago for 25 years of service to FedEx in completing their welcome kits.
Nice.
And we were the exclusive producer of welcome kits for FedEx, and that meant if you were a customer of theirs and you were going to sign and open an account, we exclusively prepared that welcome kit for the company.
And I think just it's neat, source of pride. That's all coming out of the Mid-South right here. So when you talk about other aspects, you have it's a licensed assisted living facility in service, and share with us a little about what that means to the Bedour Center as well.
In April of last year, we, for the first time in our history, licensed an assisted living facility, a 20-bed. It serves our older residents. We greatly needed to come up with a system where we could help the residents who are getting older age in place. We have been home to so many residents, and it's trying to figure out how to care for them well in increasing ways, specifically medical care, how we can better care for them and allow them to stay in Bedour Center and be around familiar surroundings.
Well, because when you talked about it, is they're coming in at an early age, usually what, 18, 21, somewhere in there?
18 is the age of admission, yes.
And so they're coming in, and for them, this is their home. This is their home away from home. This is where they are literally growing up and maturing and learning all these skills and independence and thriving. But the reality is, to your point, they're getting older, and so all of a sudden that's where those services and that care is much needed. And so for you, logical next step, obviously.
And as their families, I mean, as they age, their families age. And it's what's going to happen is the families also, Jeremy, want the peace of mind that we can care for their loved ones and that we're not removing them from what they have known for all these years. And it is fair to say that persons with disabilities often have a greater challenge trying to adapt to that change than even you or me, which would be very significant, I might add.
Sure, absolutely. One of the other aspects is community service and giving back. So you are a nonprofit, but I think it's very amazing how you and your team and these adults are all giving back to the community, and you're engaging the community in a very unique number of ways. And so share with us a little bit about the philosophy of just giving back and some of the things that you're doing.
We're a 501c3, and we feel that often the best way to describe it is we feel our hand is often out. And we feel if that's the case, then we have a responsibility to give back as much and as often as we can. We have a youth fishing rodeo where we try to bring kids on the campus. People confuse it as a fundraising event. That's really not the case. We just try to engage our community. We have recently, for the last several years, had our Wonder Players, our performing arts productions on the campus in the auditorium of Northwest Community College there in Senatobia, so that we can share our gifts with all of the local school kids in the county and the city.
Nice. And speaking of that, you also have a garden where the public can come in and buy mums and beautiful flowers and all sorts of neat things, which obviously goes back to the life skills that they're learning and the independence as well. So definitely encourage you to go out and take a tour of the Bedour Center. We can't do it justice in terms of the pictures and the words. You have to see it to believe it, but it's absolutely amazing. And Park, thank you for coming on the show and sharing it.
Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate you being here.
With the theme of the comfort and peace of mind of home, a big part of that is your financial foundation. So I'm here with the president of Duncan Williams Incorporated, Duncan Williams, and walk us through, you have a very unique history tied not only to the Mid-South, but just the evolution of now being nationwide. So share with us a little bit of the history of Duncan Williams Incorporated.
Well, the company was started in 1969 by my father. We are actually extremely excited to be celebrating our 45th anniversary on April 1st of this year. You know, it's basically been my whole entire life. I've been around this business, and we've seen a lot of growth. My father passed away in 1989. My mother actually continued to run the firm with some other senior managers. I became president in 2000. You know, here we are today. So it's been a long haul, but you know, to get to that second generation, and now with my children, maybe the third generation, is an exciting time for sure.
And walk us through, so what started kind of in the bond and the institutional side has now evolved, as we alluded to, nationwide, but into 401ks and managing personal portfolios and wealth management. So share with us the evolution for Duncan Williams Incorporated.
Well, definitely we were an institutional bond shop when we started, and it's still obviously a huge important part of our business. But we also realized that this city needed its hometown team, its hometown broker-dealer that was headquartered here, that was basically owned here, and we're really the largest firm for that now. So we've gotten into the wealth management, as you say, into the private client group. You know, it's important. We have all the retirees that are coming out. It's important, obviously, we've seen the last 5 years of managing your money and taking care of your money. Right. So we've put a huge emphasis on that. We are growing leaps and bounds in that every year, and as I said, we kind of want to be the go-to team that everybody goes to in the city for any of their wealth management, whether it be through their company and or from a personal standpoint.
So you're known obviously for the financial foundation you're providing and the successful pathway there, but also too for doing well. Do well is the tagline, right. and that not only relates to financial, but also too to giving back, philanthropy. Share with us about the philosophy of do well and for Duncan Williams.
It's a pretty simple thing. I mean, you know, the do well tagline is easy, and if you don't understand that, then it doesn't take long to understand it. Maybe that's a better way to say it. You know, our first priority is our customers, and we want them to do well. And we know if our customers do well, then what will happen, right? Our company will do well. If our company does well, then our community will do well. And ultimately, if our customers, our company, our community does well, then all the employees of Duncan Williams will do well also.
Absolutely. And so part of that is when you bring new team members on, you encourage and expect them to get engaged in the community with 3 nonprofits. And that's been a windfall of success for you so far. Share with us, I mean, I just think it's neat overall, the commitment to giving back for you and your team.
Right. It's something way different, and I don't know of any other financial firm or really any other firms that are doing it. What we require now for employees that are coming in is that within 90 to 100 days of them being in the city, that they associate with a nonprofit, with 3 nonprofits. So in the first year, we've touched over 70 nonprofits now in the city, and we all know, anybody in this community knows, we have a lot of great nonprofits out there that need our help and support. So to plug our young people in immediately, to get them going, it's exciting. I call it's kind of like my B12 shot every day, right? I can go up and just see them get in the community and hear the good things when I'm out and about. And it's also kind of moved into the other side. The employees that were there, they're kind of like, why not us? Why can't we do this? So it's really going through the entire firm now, which is a lot of fun to watch.
And the neat thing is, I've heard you say it before, is that people will choose Memphis over other cities and more lucrative jobs just because of this.
That's right. In fact, a great example, we had a young man from New York. He'd gone to Vanderbilt to school on a leadership scholarship, had all kind of offers on Wall Street. And the reason he chose Memphis and the reason he chose Duncan Williams, outside of obviously the great company, right? But the reason that he said he knew he could make a difference immediately, that he could get into a community and make a difference. And that's why he's here in Memphis now and making a difference.
Nice. Well, let's go ahead and let's show viewers a little bit about a partnership with Live at the Garden and the Memphis Botanic Garden.
We're about to embark on our 14th year of our Live at the Garden Summer Concert Series. And this concert series has evolved into one of the, if not the premier concert series in the South. And Live is a unique experience. It combines concert with the beauty of the Botanic Garden. We have embarked on a capital campaign that has been very successful, to where we are building a permanent stage. The Live Garden will be unique. It will be there will be a plant wall running down the length of the facility. They will have flower beds. We'll have color. It projects to be a beautiful facility that we will open on June 14th this year. But people recognize that this is more than just Live at the Garden. It is it's a wonderful resource.
That gives us a little teaser on your partnership with Live at the Garden and Memphis Botanic Garden, but you're a big part of their permanent stage and the development of that whole concert series. Share with us a little bit just what the Botanic Garden and Live at the Garden means to Duncan Williams Incorporated.
Well, it's important. No great city in the history of great cities has been great without the arts. And so really we've kind of put a direction in that we're going to be supportive of all the arts in here. And what better way? I mean, Live at the Garden, it's an unbelievable concert series. It lets people, get together, have fun, and listen to great music, which all of us in Memphis enjoy. So the arts are extremely important, and we'll continue to push that way. And actually have signed a long-term deal with the Botanic Gardens to keep doing it for years to come. Yeah.
It's definitely an amazing concert series, that's for sure. But the other thing is talking about the arts. Indie Memphis is a big part of yours, GPAC as well. Right. So it carries through further than just Live at the Garden.
It does. We kind of have looked at it, and even though we also sponsor the Dragon Boat races down on the river, but if you look at kind of what we're title sponsors of, right? So you have the Dragon Boat races, which could be its own artistic view. You got Indie Memphis in Midtown. You've got Live at the Garden in kind of the East Memphis area, and then you go to GPAC, and you've got the Germantown area. So hopefully we're putting our name on great events and in all different areas and getting the name out there.
That's what I say. It's just strategy-wise, I see you go from the mighty Mississippi River all the way through.
That's right. That's what we're trying to do. We want them to see the name every time they're traveling. That's
smart.
Sure.
I like that. That's good. But the other aspect of this, though, is that organizations like New Memphis Institute, for instance, focused on attracting talent, developing talent, retaining talent. That's a big part of your support as well. You're sending people through their LDI program, their fellows program, getting your team infused in very hands-on ways.
There's nothing more important than that, right? We have to recruit talent, and we have to retain the talent we have here. Memphis can't afford to keep losing the young men and women that are going to other cities. They need to be here, and they need to want to stay here, and we've got to give them that opportunity. And that's what the New Memphis Institute really leads. I mean, Nancy and her staff, the way they go about their business and the programs they have. You know, they have programs starting from literally interns in college all the way through to your senior leaders.
And the last piece of this is you're a big part of the Chairman's Circle with the Greater Memphis Chamber. Talk about what that development means for Memphis.
Well, it's a new group inside the Chamber. We already have 103 companies in the last 9 months who have signed up for it. And the main point is to get the voice of business out, but also to do that, to bring the Chamber up to what it's supposed to be, and that's getting the voice of business out and working with the government and working with other businesses and continuing to grow the city to make it the great city we all know it can be and all want it to be.
Well, absolutely love everything you're doing philanthropically, obviously business-wise as well, so greatly appreciate you coming on and sharing a little bit of your world.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Hey,
Thanks,
good job.
Jeremy.
Absolutely. We often hear the phrase, home is where the heart is, talking about the power of family and love. As we saw in this month's episode, a home can also represent healing, support, hope, dignity, comfort, and peace of mind. At Ronald McDonald House of Memphis, they're not only providing the physical comfort with bedrooms, kitchen space, playgrounds, recreation rooms, and more, they're enabling parents to focus on the health and recovery of their sick children with the support of others going through a similar experience without having to worry about paying a bill. At the Bedore Center, they're allowing adults with mild to moderate intellectual disabilities have the ability to be independent, have a job, enjoy an active lifestyle, grow and thrive in a beautiful, serene setting. At Duncan Williams Incorporated, they're strengthening home finances by helping families, companies, individuals prepare for life's great moments with a solid financial foundation while giving back and making our home and city stronger tomorrow than it is today. So thank you for watching The Spark. To learn more about each of the guests and interact with your stories of others leading by example, visit thesparktv.org. We look forward to seeing you next month, and we hope that you'll join with us in creating a spark for the Mid-South.
Just like having the right information is necessary to make solid hiring and lending decisions, being engaged in our community is important. DataFax is proud to support the positives and be a presenting sponsor of The Spark.
State Systems is focused on protecting life and property. As a local, privately owned company, our foundation was built on providing all businesses with complete fire and security protection and infrastructure cabling. State Systems is proud to be a part of the Mid-South community and a presenting sponsor of The Spark.
Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance has been serving the Mid-South since 1954. We've always focused on supporting our community and believed in promoting the positives, encouraging engagement, and leading by example. Lipscomb & Pitts is proud to be a presenting sponsor of The Spark.